Time to help the people. Time to help the people. Okay, so I'm about to show you a technique very simple to make your beats crispier, cleaner, and it's gonna up the quality of your music overall by simply using a basic channel EQ, 3 bands, the lows, the mids, and the highs. So the lows, the boomy parts, the mid section, like the tone of my voice, somewhat that orangey annoying sound in some people's voice, and then the high end, the sibilance, the hiss, the T sound, the brightness. All right, so to demonstrate, I'm going to just make a quick beat on the fly. We already have somewhat a ball of yarn of sound, if that makes any sense. Anything that we're adding at this point is definitely filling in the space in between the speakers, or in this case, in between our headphones left and right. So the first thing I would want to do to demonstrate is to, first of all, let's take this channel EQ and make sure it's on that track. Let's bring in a drum rack. So now we have our drum rack, and on our drum rack, we want to bring in a kick. That's fine. We'll use this B-boy stance kick. Let's use that as our kick pattern. I'll click this square for capture. It should have captured it. It did capture it. Let's make sure it's quantized. Control U on PC, Command U on Mac. Let's get this in place. Okay, so now we got that loop. And already, we just put our kick drum there, and it's hard to hear the kick drum and the sample. So at this point, we have to choose. Let's solo the kick drum and see what it sounds like by itself. I think that's cool. Now, if, say for instance, you wanted to beef it up a bit, let's take this channel EQ, put it on our drum rack. Let's take the lows, the boominess, the thickness of the kick. All right. Now to me, alone, the kick by itself, the kick alone sounds fine. But when we bring that sample back in, frequencies of the sample, which is the orange track, they clutter the space. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this channel EQ, we're gonna start with the mids, and we're gonna play the track, and we're gonna turn the mids all the way down. See how that started to open up right there? Now we just need to find the right space, the right frequency of the sample, the orange track. We need to find that right frequency to take away. So I'll highlight, not highlight, but hover over this 1.5, and we'll hover and we'll move it to the left as we play it back. Now there's space. Now we can hear both instruments, and there's space in the mix. If I turn the EQ on, it's already crowded. So that leaves a big hole in the sample to add my own bass. Now we'll also go to our low. We'll click this, our high pass filter, and we'll start taking the bass out of the sample. Because remember, there's a live bass in the sample. Now, since I did that, I feel like I can bring back some of the mid-range. Okay, so now I want to bring in my own bass. Let's use this clean 808 for now. right, so it should have captured that without me recording. It did. All right. See, now we're having a hard time hearing the 808 because there are frequencies from the sample and the kick that are in the same area of the important frequencies of the 808 as well, so it's cluttered. So what we want to do is solo our 808 to listen to the full quality of what that 808 sounds like. Right? Now, let's take the kick drum as well. Let's solo the kick drum. And let's see if these together are fighting for space at all. Okay, so I'll go to my drum rack track. I'll go back to this channel EQ, and I want to put this low back to 0 because the 808 is heavy. It's thick and heavy already. See, and you should be wearing headphones for this so you can hear the difference. But this is without. You can hear the kick and 808 rubbing together. This is with the EQ. There's leaving. Now it's leaving some space in the low end for the 808 to breathe. Now let's bring in a sample as well. Okay, let's play around with the high knob on the sample channel. The high of the channel EQ on the sample channel. Okay, let's play with the mids. Let's see if we pull the mids back, what happens. Okay, I like that. Let's bring back the highs on the sample track. And so you won't be confused. This is, let me label it sample track. Okay, let's bring a snare in just to get a taste of what it could be. Let's fix that first note. Now, there's a major difference. Let's go back and let's take all of the EQ off. So we never EQ'd the 808 track. We used channel EQ on the drums and the sample track. So we'll take, so it's so much clutter. And this is how your beats usually sound. Like the person is just starting out, you just add sounds and you keep adding sounds and you wonder why the quality sounds bad. It's because you're not making correct, proper use of the space that you have. So let's play it and then let's turn the EQ channels, the channel EQ back on. Now that's more relieving. It feels like a rapper can take, or a singer can take their vocals and put it on top of the track. It feels like there's room now. All right, so watch that next video. If you like the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one.